Hello again, it's Noob, and in this video we're going to look at the top 10 lockpicking hobbyist mistakes that we've all made. Well, at least one of them. Especially you know which ones you've made. And these are just my top 10. You've probably got a whole bunch of other mistakes that you've made in your lockpicking hobby, and I really want you to share them down below to let everybody know what other things that they can avoid when they're first picking up this hobby. Number one is not exclusive to lockpicking, pretty much every hobby, and that's buying every single piece of kit right away. You get into the hobby, you're really excited by it, then you look online and you see there's all these cool lockpicking sets, there's all these cool tools, there's so many things out there, and a lot of hobbyists, including myself, are like magpies. We just want all the shiny things. But just like for all hobbies, just slow down, calm down, buy a few pieces of quality equipment, get into the hobby slowly, enjoy the process, learn what you like and what you don't like and where to spend your money more wisely. The second mistake we make, and I definitely made this mistake, which is buying cheap lockpick sets when you first start out. My first two lockpicking sets were very cheap Chinese pick sets, which were very bulky, very thick. They wouldn't get into most keyways, they were weak and prone to breaking, and I get it. When you don't know really what you're looking for and what makes a good kit, and you see these big kits which are actually quite well priced, you just go, well, this is a nice big kit, that must be great. But then after using them for a while, like a badly made instrument, it actually hinders your progress and makes you very frustrated. And when you're first starting out the lockpicking hobby, it's much better to spend a little bit more money on a modest kit made by a well-known manufacturer, which is good quality and which will probably allow you to pick just as many locks as a much bigger kit. This next mistake is something that I see hobbyists make all the time, even when they've been doing the hobby for a few years, and that is sticking to just one type of lock, like pin tumblers, standard pin tumblers with standard keyways. And if you're enjoying the hobby that way, that's absolutely fine, but there is a whole world of locks out there. There are lever locks, there are wafer locks, there are tubular locks, there are dimple locks, there are slider locks. There's so many different formats and shapes and styles out there to explore. And as you get more into the hobby, exploring those locks can be just as fun and just as exciting and really expand your skill set and allow you to appreciate all the wonderful mechanisms which are out there for the hobbyist to enjoy. A personal example for me is that I held off on learning to pick dimple locks for ages. I was a bit scared of them. I thought they'd be too hard for me to pick. But once I got into picking dimple locks, I actually found that in some ways I enjoy them more than standard pin tumblers. Number 4 is actually a mistake I still make to this day, and that is not doing the research on a lock. Quite often we'll buy a lock because it looks really interesting and then struggle to pick it and feel really down about our lockpicking skills and get a bit disheartened. And that can all just be down to not really researching what the lock is, what the mechanism is, and how you need to defeat it. Think about things like pin-in-pin locks. If you don't know that they are pin-in-pin, how could you possibly know how to defeat them? What about locks like the Vero handbag lock, which actually have a check pin inside, which if you don't know that you have to press it down, the lock will never open. There are so many examples of where you just need to understand how that particular lock mechanism works before you start to learn to pick it. This next one is also not a lockpicking hobby exclusive, and that is getting disheartened very soon into the lockpicking hobby. Quite often when you start the lockpicking hobby, you'll be picking more easy locks, things like clear plastic padlocks, things like cutaway locks, things like master lock 3s and magnums, and those locks are quite easy to pick. And when you do pick those locks, you'll feel quite rightly very proud of yourself and feel you're on a bit of a lock-picking high, and you'll be really keen to pick other locks. And then you'll pick up a slightly higher security lock, maybe one with spools in or a really tight keyway, and you'll get really frustrated and you won't be able to pick it, and then you'll just think that you're the worst lockpicker in the world. And some people actually quit at that point, but I urge you to be patient and just keep practicing. The more you practice, the more skills you'll get, and the more opens you'll get, the more confident you'll get, and the more you'll find that you pick more locks and then more locks and then more locks. And there are hundreds and thousands of locks to pick. Every hobby has a learning curve. Every hobby has an entry point which will grab you and make you want to carry on, but every hobby also has that sort of cliff edge. Don't be disheartened, stick with it, keep practicing, and you'll really enjoy this hobby. Number 6 is a very human mistake, and that is caring too much about other people's opinions about how you enjoy your hobby. If you enjoy the hobby only by picking cheap plastic see-through padlocks, and that's what you enjoy doing that. You don't have to pick a certain lock, a certain type of lock. You don't even have to pick it a certain way. If you like to only rake instead of single pin picking, if you like to pick with the pins down or pins up or pins sideways or pins backwards or in the dark or wearing gloves or a silly hat, it doesn't matter. If you enjoy the hobby, that's literally all that matters. Other people's opinions, or whether you are whatever a good picker actually is, a good picker or whatever, it shouldn't matter to you. Enjoy the hobby how you like to enjoy it, and you should not ever care what other people think. If you want to pick super slow, if you want to pick in hand, if you want to pick in a vise, you want to use electric pick guns, it just doesn't matter. Number 7 is a very quick one. It's actually just taking the hobby too seriously. Don't take any hobby too seriously. Most of us, the vast majority of us, are just hobbyists, and therefore what we do is slightly unrealistic in compared to picking locks in a real world situation. So just enjoy the hobby, don't take it too seriously. It's really not that deep. This is actually a hobbyist mistake that I guarantee if you haven't made that mistake yet, you probably will at some point. I've made this mistake so many times, and I must say that I don't always regret it, which is to buy a really expensive specialist piece of equipment which only works for a few locks, and it's just really cool and we just want it. Usually it's a professional piece of kit, or it's a piece of kit designed specifically for a very small range of locks, and you just want it because it's cool, and then you buy it and it's really expensive, and then you don't really use it that often. Now fortunately for me, I have a YouTube channel, so I probably use these more niche piece of equipment more than most hobbyists. But just think to yourself, do I really need this piece of equipment? And you know what? If you've got the money, it brings you joy, you do you. But I'm just saying, just have a think. My penultimate mistake is buying new locks. That isn't to say you should never buy new locks. Actually, there's a lot of lock collectors within the lock picking hobby, and people who enjoy buying those new locks with all the keys and the boxes and things. And if that's how you enjoy your hobby, do it. However, as a new picker, quite often I see people who start the hobby and end up just buying locks at their local hardware shop because they don't know where else to buy them. They're spending loads of money, which reduces the amount of locks they can pick and may actually end up sort of pushing them out of the hobby slightly. I would say look on places like eBay, if you're in America, Craigslist, things like Facebook Marketplace. Second-hand locks are still affordable, or at least they're more affordable than new locks, and by looking for bargains and exchanging locks and buying locks of other hobbyists, you're going to allow yourself to pick up many more locks than if you're just going to buy new ones. It's fair to say that some second-hand locks, especially older, well-used ones, do pick a little differently to new locks, and that can be a bit off-putting for some people, but there are loads of second-hand locks in great condition, and buying second-hand locks is just by far the most economical way to do things. And the last mistake, and once again, definitely not exclusive to the lockpicking hobby, is comparing yourself to others. Was it Mark Twain who said that comparison is the death of joy? And I think that to a degree that holds true. In nearly every aspect of life, there's always going to be someone who is in some ways better at something than you are, but don't let that detract from your own enjoyment. There are really great tools out there like the Reddit lockpicking belt rankings, which try to organize all the locks in a belt ranking system from like white belt to black belt and every belt in between, where you have the easy locks on one end and the really hard locks on the other end. And that tool can be fantastic at picking your way through all of these great locks and all the challenges along the way. But if you think that somehow you're not a good picker because you're not a black belt picker or red belt picker or whatever, then you're really not approaching the hobby in the right way. What makes a good lock picker, in my view, is one that just enjoys the hobby. Anyway, those are my top 10 lockpicking hobbyist mistakes. I'm pretty certain I made all of those mistakes across the last 10 years I've been lockpicking, and I'm sure that many of you have made those mistakes too. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you know any other key mistakes that hobbyists make, especially when they first start the hobby, please write them down in the comments down below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you like this video, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do so for more content like this. You can even hit that notification bell to be notified next time I upload content. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.